I'm Lomahukluh, and I am here to restore some dozer lines that went through meadows and fens. I am a botanist for the Plumas National Forest. A dozer created a Y shape in this meadow, and then in between the two willow bushes is incredibly wet, so when they bulldozed it, they opened up that channel to the point where it just pooled and created a little pond. So it was extremely wet. And then the meadow closest to us is extremely dry. So these berms were pretty high, and they had been sitting here for weeks before the restoration started. So it'll be an experiment seeing what comes back, because when sod is dried for probably about 2 weeks, it has a tendency to die. Removing the sod, there was still green. There's things that were already coming up and still growing, so it's a good sign. I feel like it will come back pretty well. So I had a lot of crews help me flip the sod, making sure it blends in as much as possible, and giving the vegetation a little help by putting it upright, so it doesn't have to be stressed about which way's up, which way's down, so it can just focus on actually coming back. So we are looking at a fen that has been heavily disturbed. So right now there's a lot of exposed peat, a lot of just really, really rich dark soil. I'm hoping that with this restoration that some of it will be covered up and more vegetation will grow, and I'm hoping that these logs will aid in the accumulation of peat, basically feeding it, trying to recharge it. And then in that way it also disrupts the flow, so it's more spread out. Right here, this is where a dozer had pushed. It's pretty deep over in there. I think he might have pushed a root wad out and it created a pool. So then over here is just the natural form of the area. Only fire had taken place, no heavy equipment went through. So this is a good, ideal way of restoration, because you do have a puzzle piece that you can kind of mimic and see the terrain, and it's not flat at all, but it's a little moundy. But for this restoration effort, it's been wiped out. I don't know exactly what it looked like before, but I can at least make it start from ground zero and then let nature take its course and make its own meandering streams. We want it to sit and just drench and just, be like a fen.